Sheila Beckett, the Rabbi from Another Planet. Please like, share, and subscribe, and ring the little bell so you're notified when new videos drop. And I'm going to be doing a few today. Actually, I haven't put the ones I did earlier this week on Facebook. I'll get to that today after I finish this, I think. What have I been doing? I've been listening to Big Finish. Big Finish, The Legacy of Time. Their big 20th anniversary release celebrating 20 years of Big Finish. Now, if you're a Doctor Who fan who hasn't tried Big Finish, this is a pretty good jumping on point. It's a good sample of what they do with Doctor Who, which is generally speaking extremely good. This is a very large collection of above average mediocre stories, I would say, of 6 stories. I think a better anniversary special was the 50th anniversary special, The Light of the End. That was really, I want to listen to that again now. I can't imagine wanting to listen to these again, but I'm glad I did listen to them. Again, they have 6 stories plus a 2-disc making of, which each disc focuses on a different Doctor they've done work with before. And okay, so I'm breaking it down again. We have 6 stories, which are none of them are stellar. The last one is the best, I think. All of them I would give a solid 7 out of 10 to. Yeah, I think they're all in that range. So let's break it down. We have the first story is a Time War 8th Doctor story, and he's a bit mopey in this one. He's built a robot companion who's like the perfect companion. The problem with this era of the 8th Doctor, I feel, is that again he's a bit mopey. Now, granted, this Doctor does eventually regenerate by essentially committing suicide. So, the John Hurt War Doctor can be born. So, which is very strange because this is a very light and fluffy Doctor, very happy with life. But again, fine tale. Next one, the Split Infinitive. It's a countermeasures story. Now, countermeasures are the group who were born out of remembrance of the Daleks that the 7th Doctor worked with. And they got a very good vibe. There's 2 strands of countermeasures that they do in Big Finish. There's the 6th is countermeasures, and then they came back as the 7th is countermeasures. And because this is a time travel story, they have them from both eras, which you really can't tell the difference, but it's still kind of fun. This is the 7th Doctor story in Ace. Then the next one is Sacrifice of Joe Grant, which is should be Joe Jones really, because it's an older Joe Grant. It's older Joe Grant hanging out with Osgood from Unit, and then gets sucked back into history and ends up having an adventure with the 3rd Doctor, played by Tim Treloar, who is a pitch perfect 3rd Doctor. I would even like to like cosplay as him because I'd be intrigued because he's got the nose for it. So I'd be kind of intrigued to see how he would do that on film. Relative Time is what was Relative Time? That's the 5th Doctor, Peter Davison, with his daughter, whose name escapes me, playing the Doctor's daughter, playing was it Jenny? Is it? I didn't buy Jenny. I didn't buy the little series they did of her stories. And they're quite a good pair. They spark off with each other quite nicely. Avenue of Possibilities, probably one of the strongest in it. It was supposed to be a Jago and Lightfoot with the 6th Doctor, Colin Baker, but unfortunately, Jago, what's his name? I can't remember his name. Passed away, so he couldn't be said. But again. I think the 6th Doctor is probably one of the strongest on audio, and then they finish it up with Collision Course, which is a 4th Doctor Tom Baker story, with Leela and Romana. Now, I have to say, this was hampered for me by having Romana in it, Lala Wall playing Romana, because in fact, Lala Wall's performance of Romana maybe stopped buying the Gallifrey series with the second Time War box set, because I just don't want to pay money to hear a huff and sigh and be superior. It's I don't need to pay anybody to be lecturing to me and be dismissive and not dismissive. Well, that's what I'm looking. Not dismissive. More be superior to me for no apparent reason. So I find it kind of off putting. Tom Baker is always wonderful to listen to though. So okay, so these stories again, they're all solid 7 out of 10 stories. Nothing bad, nothing stellar. But I think this set, which I'm still recommending, even though I'm giving all the negatives, I think this set suffers from a couple of things. Firstly, it's a sequel to the Sirens of Time, their first story, which I still think is probably the weakest Big Finish story they've ever done. Thank God they got much better after that. So it's a sequel to that. So it's very in-fitting with like the whole anniversary Big Finish film. In fact, the first story, Lies in the Ruins, I would say is a subtle remake of a story of a fan audio story. The fan audio group Audio Visuals is what Big Finish was born out of. It's the same. Nicholas Briggs played the Doctor. It's the same production team, and it's really that's where they learned how to do audio production by doing. So they did a famous story, well, famous within those circles, called Planet of Lies. Probably one of their best stories. And so yeah, it's reminiscent. It touches on very similar ground to that story. I'm not sure where you'd be able to find them, but it's worth. But if you can find them and download them, it's totally worth it. So it suffers from that, and weirdly enough, the other thing I think it suffers from is apart from it being firstly too big and too small all at the same time. Oh, I should have said the clever conceit is there is one linking adventure joining all these stories up together. One event that happened in Time Lord history, which is really clever, and I liked it. It was a good that was a good setting, but I think it's both too big and too small. It's too big in that again we got 7 mediocre, above average. I wouldn't say mediocre, above average adventures, 6 above average adventures. When really, they do a fantastic. David Bradley does the first Doctor wonderfully, and Fraser Hines does the second Doctor. They could, and then you have Jake Dubman who does the was it 11th Doctor? Probably does all of them. He's very good. He also does the 10th Doctor. Well, they also got David Tennant. And okay, spoiler alert: all the Doctors do meet up. All the 6 Doctors from the set do meet up in a couple of scenes at the end of this story. But then, in a like kind of a glorious extra bit, you have Doctors 1, 2, and 10 show up. Yeah, 1, 2, and 10 show up, played by Dave Bradley, Fraser Hines, and David Tennant. And that's a really fun scene. But you know what? There could have been another 3 discs in the set easily with their stories. And I get that you can't. It's very unwieldy to put them all together. But I don't know. Like I think the light at the end really worked better because it was a more confined 2-hour story featuring all the Doctors, and they interacted much better. So yeah, listen, it's worth buying. I think it's worth buying just as a salute to Big Finish because they've done such fantastic work. It's not a waste of time. It's above average. It's better than most things on TV. It's better than most TV Doctor Who for the last, well, at least since Chris Chibnall took over. I really like Capaldi's last season, so I can't. But I can't denigrate it. I can't say it's better than any of those. It's better than all of Capaldi's first season and most of his second. So yeah, there are solidly good adventures. Go out and buy it. Go out and buy it. Support Big Finish because we want them to keep on making great stuff. If my only real appeal to Big Finish is please don't go woke. Don't go woke like everything else is going woke. We get it. People who are creatives, who make money professionally by being creative, really have one very strong side in this cultural divide that we're all living through right now. Why can't we just look at what connects us as opposed to what separates us? And what connects us is we all love Doctor Who. So let's just focus on that. Keep the woke stuff away. Don't worry about Brexit. I mean, you can worry about it. You can worry about Trump. You can worry about Brexit. You can do whatever you like. Just keep it out of your work. And if you're going to put it in your work, maybe put a sticker warning on it. Say, warning, woke territory ahead. And it's getting slightly woke in places. Well, it's got a lot woke in some other places. But anyway, I would say this is my recommendation. Go ahead and buy it. It's well worth the listen. But if you, especially if you've never been in a Big Finish before, but again, it doesn't come anywhere near close. Near close, is that a correct grammar? Doesn't come anywhere close to eclipsing The Light at the End, which is my favourite multi-Doctor story. But I was going to say either by Big Finish or it might be my favourite multi-Doctor story. In general, I can't think. I mean, the Third Doctor is pretty good. And the Doctor was pretty good. But I don't know, Light at the End is one of the best multi-Doctor stories. So it doesn't come close to eclipsing that. Even though it is a joy to hear all the Doctors together at one moment for the couple of scenes that we saw it. So, we heard it in. So, my name is Philip Becken, the Rabbi from another planet. Please like, share, and subscribe. Ring the little bell so you're notified when new videos drop.